Coach, just kind of your impressions first 5 days of spring ball. What have you kind of thought of the defense's performance?
Yeah, I think, when you're in spring ball, there's a lot of things to work on. We got a lot of competition and position battles, things like that. But what I'll say is what I've seen is the effort, right? And that's what you want. I mean, that's built in here. Coach Dickert and his staff has done a great job. We're trying to build off that, but just being relentless to the ball and kind of feeding off each other. You can see it as the practice goes. I feel like we're getting stronger. We got to continue that trend.
You mentioned position battles. What are maybe in your eyes kind of the biggest position battles right now?
Well, I think number one, I don't want to single one group out, but obviously the linebacker position is one, the one I'm working with, and what I've seen in that group is that, yes, it's a competition, but they're elevating each other. They're working, they're studying, they're doing those type of things, and the nickel position, there's position battles everywhere, and honestly, that's probably the central theme of this spring is competition.
In your eyes, kind of through 5 days, who's maybe the one or two defensive standouts?
Yeah, I think, it starts up front, right? That's the tip of the spear for us, right? And you see guys like RJ, guys like BJ and Quinn, also Nusi, Gusta. They're reestablishing the line of scrimmage, and that makes everybody's work easier. Saw Capena show up and make some plays today. You guys like Jaden Hicks, doing a great job with their pre-snap communication. You're looking at, how are they making plays? Hey, but the way that they're making them, are they going through the process from winning the pre-snap to post-snap? And I've seen some good things from a lot of guys.
Who's one guy that maybe, now that you've kind of seen on the field, has kind of surprised you a little bit, that maybe when you saw in the winter workouts or saw on tape, that is maybe not what you saw there, and now I've seen on the field that it's a lot different and a lot better?
The guy you just interviewed, Quinn, I will say it's not a complete surprise because I saw the amount of snaps he had and the production he had as we were watching film. Hey, but to see it up front and in person, man, he's a guy that has a high motor, and he's an overachiever, right? And overachievers are welcome. So I've been loving to watch him play.
Is it pretty much right now just kind of getting used to the base defense stuff, not really installing many wrinkles yet? Is that
we install as we install. You want to start it in a process so we can watch guys play and play fast. I think the one thing you do when you start overloading scheme is now they're thinking instead of reacting and playing. And part of spring is evaluating. I mean, one of our biggest things that we want to find is what is our dependable depth. Who are those guys that as you go through the season are going to be able to step up and play. So there is a process to our install. We put a little bit more on them today, and when you do that, sometimes the wheels are spinning before the play. But we want to make sure everything is fast and physical going into the scrimmage.
Just in general, how are you settling into Pullman and Wazoo? How are you liking it so far?
Man, I love it. I'm from right down the road. Finally got my family here. That's a big part of it that maybe a lot of people don't think of, but my family's here. We're moved in, so family's here. I'm good, and we're moving full speed ahead.
What was maybe the biggest influence that kind of drew you here this offseason?
For me, the biggest thing is overall is the people. I've been blessed and I've been fortunate to be at some good spots, whether it be Eastern Washington, Boise State, Auburn, Alabama. But to be back home and to be around familiar faces, and the biggest thing to me was what is the culture, right? And Coach Dickert's done a tremendous job with the culture. One of the first activities we did, you could see it. It's one thing for people to say it, but it's different for people to do it. And we talk on defense about a brotherhood, right? I mean, the time to build trust is not on 3rd and 1 in the Apple Cup, right? It's all the process now, and this is a close group. That's what I heard. I did my research on that end too, and it's been refreshing to see it be true.
Has it been a pretty smooth, transition into the sense that, defenses, you're kind of making it your own a little bit, but the defensive system's set, but you're adding stuff. Has that kind of made the transition a little bit?
Yeah, honestly, it's been a fun process. Coach Dickert, obviously a very smart defensive coach, and it's been fun to go back and forth, talk about tweaks and little things like that. It's easier for me to learn a language than to ask 60 other guys to learn a language, and that's really what a lot of defense is. It's fundamentals and techniques. Really what it boils down to is it a sound system, and can you play sound fundamentals and techniques, because those things make the scheme, and it's been a lot of fun to go through this process.